Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, I want to timestamp this for myself. Today is Monday, September 8th. Oh my word, I've been busy, you guys. So today is Chris with 2S's birthday, and I have her live stream playlist running in honor of her birthday. So I hope she's having a wonderful day. I've been playing a lot of birthday playlists lately, so I've been missing some content, and I have a couple different reasons that I've been missing content. One is I am so busy. So I want to go back for a minute to Friday, just this last Friday. So Thursday, we were blessed with a couple 100 pounds of potatoes. Friday, I started processing them. Now, if you've seen my canning potatoes or dry canning french fries video, then you know that there's a great deal that goes into canning potatoes. You don't just stick them in a jar and, you know. So now these potatoes, this thing, these potatoes that we got were huge. So the process that I had to go through was taking these potatoes, putting them in my sink and washing them, so scrubbing them. And then once I scrub them, they go into the next sink. And when they're clean, then I start my sinks over again. This cushion, you guys. I'm trying not to let you be grossed out by these chairs because they're skulls. And I put a cushion there. It's really frustrating. Anyways, I know. Um, so I was going back and forth. So then the next process is I take 5-gallon food grade buckets and I fill them up with ice and water. And then I cut all my potatoes, rinsing them before putting them into the bucket, and then I put them all into the bucket. Then I seal those buckets up and I let them sit for overnight. In the morning, I'll rinse them again, and I'll rinse them one more time that night, and then on the third day, I'll start canning. The reason that you do this is to pull all the starch out of it, right? And it also gives you an opportunity when you're rinsing it the third and final time, for myself anyways, my process, you'll see if any potatoes have started to have spots or anything bad on them. Like, you'll see that, so you'll be able to take those out before putting them in the jar. You don't want to put potatoes with like black spots or anything green on them into your canning, because it'll just intensify it. And green potatoes are really not good for us to eat. So I know a lot of the ones on the market are ending up green, but whatever, it happens apparently. I don't know. I'm not a potato farmer. However, when you live out in the country, you have a lot of opportunity. Some people grow potatoes, some grow carrots, some grow blueberries, some grow apples, some grow plums, some grow strawberries. So when you live in these communities, you have a lot of opportunity, because people will say, well, come on over and fill your boots, pick what you need. And that is such a blessing. So we try to always go and do these things, right? And receive these blessings. So, okay, Friday. So Friday, I started the process. So I should have canned them on Sunday. Now, Saturday, we were blessed with an opportunity to go pick blueberries. So I've got a friend, and I said, hey, you want to go? And we're going to spend the day, and we're going to harvest a lot. And she's like, let's do it. So Saturday, I spent all day harvesting blueberries. So in British Columbia, up country, there's been a lot of forest fires, which means that the smoke didn't really hit us until Saturday. And when we were picking blueberries, my friend and I, we were really surrounded by a lot of smoke, which was really hard on the respiratory system. And it can be exhausting, right? So the sun was out, it was hot, it was smoky. We spent the day doing that. Now, my intention Saturday night when I got home was to start canning my potatoes. Now, not say start. So I've already done 3. So I've already done 21 quarts of potatoes, because I did get some of them done. I think before I went blueberry picking on Saturday morning, yes. So, but when I got home on Saturday night, I was done. I was exhausted, and I hurt my back. So I kind of tweaked my back. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to rest tonight. Now that's Saturday night. So I didn't rinse the potatoes, my fault, before I went to bed. Um, because my back was hurting me, I thought, oh, they'll be fine till the morning. It doesn't work that way. So I've experienced a major fail. So when I'm processing these 5-gallon buckets, each one takes like a couple hours, right? It's a lot of work. You want to make sure they're absolutely pristine before you put them in there in whatever sizes, if you want French fries or roast potatoes or hash browns. So you have to, and soaking them to get the starch out the whole time. So I probably takes a couple hours per bucket, like I was saying, and then maybe I did two Friday and then two maybe Friday night, I think is what it was. So they had quite a time difference between them. So when I opened on, so yeah, so Saturday was a write off. Sunday morning, I started opening the buckets because I wanted to can them. And the first bucket I opened, I thought it had a little bit of a smell. You know that smell when you leave potato peelings in the sink or whatever in the garbage? It'll really, really stink. So I could kind of, not really, but I could get a hint of it. So I took that bucket and I dumped it into my sink and I started rinsing them. Well, had I been smart, I would have gone for the oldest bucket, right? The fourth bucket from Saturday morning. Anyways, I didn't. So I started processing those potatoes. Now I was able to can those potatoes. They were fine. There was a little extra starch on the water. I had to rinse them a couple more times, but I got them canned and seasoned and on my shelf. So I got 28 quarts done. So I got to the next bucket and they didn't look good. So when you're canning potatoes, they have to be pristine, like perfect, no breaks, no like withering signs or softness or anything. You don't want any of that because it will just intensify in the canning process. So when I got to the second bucket, I was like, oh no, I can't can these, right? They're beyond pristine. Oh, there goes my notes. You guys know how important my notes are. Anyways, so I got to the buckets and they were no good. And I was like, oh my God. And I was upset. I was like, are you serious? I have to throw out all these potatoes, like hundreds, like lots of potatoes. So I was like, what am I going to do? So I sat down and thought about it, and I was like, I'm going to preserve these in a different way. So I can't can them because they'll just turn to mush in the process. So I'm going to process them by making big batches of mashed potatoes and adding different seasoning in. So some of them I did garlic and chives. Some of them I did Parmesan and garlic. Some of them I did oregano and garlic. I did mashed potatoes. And then what I did with them is I got my trays with parchment paper and I put them in, like, I have a big scooper. So I would fill it with the potato mixture and then plop it onto the parchment paper. And it's like a half a potato, right? It's like a big half of a potato, but it's mashed and it's got all this yumminess in it. So I froze those up. I made some into like balls for breakfast. And those ones I did green onions, garlic, and anyways, I can't remember. But the thing is that they're in a ball, right? So when you take them out and let them thaw for a minute before you put them into like your oven or your air fryer or even into a grilling pan, you just squish them like a cookie, squish them with a fork. And then you have a nice little breakfast patty. So I did a whole bunch of different varieties. And then I was like, I didn't have any more area to put these things as they were freezing because I'm also freezing the blueberries, which is a whole nother ball of wax. So now I used my silicone muffin pan and I filled those and let them like almost look like a cupcake, right? And they're really pretty, and I froze all those individually. So once you freeze them individually, you can put them into a Tupperware or a freezer bag, and you can just pull them out as you need them. So I have never done that with the potatoes before. So I was really, really excited that I came up with something in the heat of the moment on how to still save this product. So, however, for me, that's a total fail. And the reason is because I've never had that much potatoes to can at one time. So I was not allowing time for real life, like things that can just happen. I got the first step, I got too much of the first step done, and then things went sideways before I got to the third step of using the potatoes. So it doesn't really matter. I'm really excited about having frozen these frozen mashed potato servings done. Like I love canning as well, but I'm really happy about that. So because I love freezing meals, like portions of meals. So um, I'm going to do probably a little playlist on all the different things that I pre-cook, pre-prepare, and then freeze in portions in the freezer so anybody can grab them whatever they want. Okay? So now the blueberries. I don't know. I mean, I went blueberry picking as a child. I have my 3 blueberry bushes, but it is the most tedious thing on the planet to do, picking blueberries. It's a very tiny, tiny little fruit. I mean, some of them are bigger, and I'm not huge tall. So the taller blueberries that had the big, big, juicy ones on top, I couldn't get to them. So I am going to be going back to harvest more blueberries, and I'm going to take a few more people because it is such a time-consuming process. So now that's the picking. So now I spent that whole day out there picking berries in the heat and the smoke, and then when I got home, you can't just stick them in your fridge. Like I had a box. I had like that's probably those green things you get at the store with blueberries, little paper trays. I probably have, I don't know, way too many of them. So again, because my back was sore, I did go through them. I rinsed them. I pulled out anything that was no good. And then after they were cleaned, I filled up my quart jars, mason jars, so I could just set them in the fridge like that and they won't spoil, right? They're not touching too much, and it's just a good way to do it. It gets them to last longer. Now, after I did that, I also took a tray with parchment paper and I poured a quart right onto there, stuck it in the freezer so it would freeze. Now, I took an old juice, well, it's not an old juice jug, it's just one of those big juice jugs we used to use a lot, and now I don't really use it for much. So I took one of those and I poured the individual frozen blueberries into this jug. Hello, how easy is that? So now, like, it has a little thing on it I flip up. So now if I want to make muffins or pancakes or whatever, I want blueberries, I can just go down with a measuring cup, pour it like into my main freezer, pour it into a cup and bring it up, and it's going to be super easy. So now normally I've always frozen my blueberries in like Tupperware containers where I have to go in, and I don't like it because a lot of the Tupperware now it gets kind of brittle. So when it's cold and you go to pop that, man, I've broken so many Tupperware lids, especially on my big Tupperwares. So I was looking for an alternative method to that anyways. And I think the juice jug method is really the way to go. And you could do that with blackberries, raspberries, cut up strawberries if they don't fit through the hole or whatever. And then just have it ready. Bananas, like pineapple, you could do anything like that. Just fill up a container or whatever you use and put it in your deep freeze or your freezer. Way easier than mucking around with Tupperware lids and freezer baggies and all that stuff. And then you can reuse it over and over. Now, did my list? Oh no, I got my list. Wait, guys. Okay, potatoes, yes. It's funny, when I was scrubbing these potatoes because they're so big, my arms were like jello. And that was all day Friday I did that. And then just heat, like burning in my arms at the end of it. But that's not even the hard part, because once you wash them all, then you've got to cut them all. And cutting these big potatoes for me is just like a lot of work. I did get a little bit of help from the family with cutting the big potatoes because it was too much for me. And I'm so glad I was able to save all of well, actually, no, that's not true. My last bucket, I was telling you how hours. My last bucket, I had to throw it into the green waste bin, and I was really sad about it. Probably, I don't know, 35 pounds of potatoes I had to throw out. However, again, I'm really blessed and grateful that I was able to save the other ones in a different manner, and it's still going to make it easier when it comes time to meal prep. So, blueberries, yep. Okay, so today is Monday, September 8th. Well, all this other stuff was going on. My garden has been going crazy, you guys, with tomatoes. The cherry tomatoes, all the tomatoes, the Romas, oh my goodness. so many of them have come red, and I hadn't been out to the garden because of all this other stuff. So when I got out there, I went out there first thing this morning. I harvested, I think, see my big basket? I harvested 3 of these full. I took them inside, cleaned them up, got those all canned. They're all done. They're just cooling. And my table, my dining room table, is full of tomatoes that are blushed, so they're not red yet. Now, I did add some into my regular tomatoes. I did diced tomatoes with oregano and garlic. I did a lot of that because I like to have that ready for when I'm making spaghetti sauce or whatever. It's just a really good flavor in the fresh tomatoes. I got, I think, another four jars. No, I must have done more than that. Because I got 4 jars of cherry tomatoes, 4 jars of diced tomatoes, and I think I did 6 jars, that's right, 6 jars of the whole, like, stewed tomatoes, basically, right? And I just kind of, like, cut them, but I don't really cut them, and I kind of squish out everything that's in them and stick them in like that. I like them that way because they come out and they're still kind of crunchy, like they have some, they're not just mush, right? Another thing I did with some of my tomatoes, the ones that weren't as red, I was like, I don't like how it looks. So instead of filling it with water, I put tomato juice in it. And oh my God, you guys, it looks amazing. Like the look of it, I like way better than, because tomatoes kind of turn like pale. Like they're still red technically, but they kind of go pale when you cook them, right? So with the tomato juice, it worked perfect, and I'm going to be doing a lot more that way, because again, that's just kicking it up. When you add that into a recipe, you already got so much flavor. And I had, the tin cans of the tomato juice. I found one in my pantry from 2022, and I thought I gotta open it and try. It was fine. These expiry dates are bogus. Hi, the cows are coming over to say hi. What's doing? Hi, sweetheart. Look at you guys all lounging. Hi. They're just all chilling. Yeah, so it's been smoky, but the sun is out today. First day in, geez, I don't even know, since like Thursday of last week. And you can actually see the clouds in the sky where before it was just all smoke. It was just all gray. So yeah, again, and that's why I was out to the garden so early this morning, because I had to get the tomatoes canned because I don't want to waste anything, like I just don't want to waste food. So a lot of I got way more tomatoes than I've ever gotten in my garden. I'm speechless. Everything. Like I have to harvest my zucchini and my acorn squash. There's so many of them. I am so grateful. I'm going to be able to bless so many people, friends, families, strangers. I love giving out preserves and stuff at Christmas time to anybody that I know could use like an instant meal, a little hand, especially seniors. I like to give canned products out to seniors because they appreciate it. They're not tripped out by it. A lot of the younger generations think canning is weird and ew, I wouldn't eat that, and it's crazy. I was brought up with canning as a way of life, so to me, I don't know, to go to a store and buy like a little can of chili and you're paying like, well, here anyways, you're paying like $4 or $5 for, what is it, 250 mils or whatever's in a can. I don't even know. That to me is it's ridiculous, right? So if we can make our stuff and have it on the pantry where you have 50 jars of chili, it's gonna do all the hot dogs or chili dogs for all the sports games. Like and it makes it so much easier because you don't have to do it. I'm actually gonna be canning chili soon. I think I've mentioned it. I'm just getting together the ingredients because there's a lot. Like I make a lot. I don't make a little bit. So I have to get a lot of ingredients. So the peppers, I found a really, really good price on peppers. So now I know where to go get them. I bought a couple of bags. It's off a farmer just up the road. I was really happy that they were a pepper grower. It's like, yeah, and they don't. So none of the stuff that I get is sprayed in any way, shape, or form. It's on old land that's never been sprayed. It's just a more natural way of growing things. You know, their rows aren't all pretty and stuff. It's just a different way of farming, right? It's the old school method. So, um, I have a couple more different things that I have to get done. The little apple tree, I need to harvest that and make up some apple pie filling. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to do a couple different varieties of that. Some with cinnamon, some without. I don't know, maybe some with caramel flavoring or something. I'm not sure. And then I'm really grateful because we haven't had any sun. My blackberries haven't turned yet, so they're still fruiting, but they're not turning purple. So I got at least Monday, 3 or 4 days before I have to process the blackberries. And I think we're going to be blessed with carrots. So I'm going to be doing a big, big can of carrots. And I did plant some more peas in the ground over here, but I think I forgot to water them. I haven't been watering much, just because I kind of want everything to slow down for me. Um, I'm not sure about my grapes. They're not getting big and they're very, very tart. They must be a different type of grapes. Like I said, I had the labels on them and I can't find them, so I don't know. The other one, though, has the big green grapes, the table grapes, so I'm really excited about that. Um, and what else? You guys, I don't know. I'm just sitting out here having my cup of coffee, and I wanted to yak to you guys because I have a bunch of content on my YouTube channel that I'm just going to start putting out. It might not make any sense because it might not be coming out in the right order, and I do apologize for that. I will try to put it into its appropriate playlist for some sort of a, and I'll try to put a pretty good description, so that you know what it's all about. But let's go for a walk. So it's Monday. I did go out to the garden briefly this morning to pick tomatoes, but I was just there for the tomatoes and I wasn't paying attention to anything. So let's go for a walk. I haven't cut the lawn. Look at the evening primrose. You can tell that I haven't watered it. It doesn't look so happy. I mean, it's still fine, but it just doesn't look really happy. Yeah, I'm way behind on harvesting it. I'm behind on all this Pearly Everlasting, but I don't mind. I can start to harvest it anytime because it's just starting to get the little yellow nibs on it, and I like that, especially in a cup of tea. I like the yellow, not just the white. So, and I've got more goldenrod coming. This is one of the only evening primroses that I didn't harvest, so you guys could see how big that is. It's probably 8 feet tall, and yeah. Now these are these silly little sunflowers I planted. They're so skinny. They're so skinny, but they're just, I don't know what they're doing. I should probably tie them up or something. So now, you guys, now at the end of the season, my goji berry is blooming. So I am going to get a little bit of fruit off of it. But that's really confusing to me. Like, I don't understand that. My fleabane is blooming again. This is where I dug up a bunch of stuff. But look at my mullein. Isn't that beautiful? That's a first-year mullein. I wasn't able to go on my road trip, and I'm really sad about it. But I don't know what else to do. There's only so much time in a day. Yeah, these grapes, they're not delicious. So I think they're a wine grape. My elderberry, I need to get out here and pick what's left. I kind of left them for the birds this year because I did have quite a few from last year. But these grapes, look at, aren't they lovely? Where are they? See? I'm really excited. This is my first year on this one to get fruit. So I'm really excited. And then my blueberries are all done. Again, I leave whatever's on there for the animals, for the birds and stuff. Now at this time of year, right? I picked everything off of these. And I got a ton of harvest off my blueberries this year. So I have to prune them before the next season. And here I left this is what mullein looks like when it's done. This is a year 2. But see all these pods? Like, can I get one off? Oh, come on. See all those? Those are mullein seeds. So if you ever see one, just break it open, stick it in a bag, and you can plant them whenever you want, wherever you want. I plant them right there. I know, I just kind of drop seeds all over this place. Okay. Ooh, grasshopper. Where did you go? Hello. We see you. It's so fun, isn't it? Holy. Yeah. So there's a couple coming, but they're way up high. So none of this stuff, well, I mean, there's the odd one, but see, I'll be able to get all of this fruit. I might need a ladder for some of it. It's just coming, so I'm excited. Wait, let's try one. Oh, look at that white spider, you guys. Can you see that? Where's the camera? Ooh, yeah, he can go. I'll try this one. Oh, it's not ready. Bad white spider. Okay, anyway. So over here, and I had a bit of a problem with the power out in the Zendan where I'm riding my dehydrator, and it shut off on me, so I had to restart a lot of the stuff because even though it feels dry, if it retains back in any moisture, it'll spoil on the shelf. So look at my marigold. That one's coming. Look at the size of the Mad Hatter peppers. Isn't that something? Okay. And like I said, acorn squash, like, I have so much of it. I don't even know what to do with it. Okay, so I just harvested all the tomatoes. Like, I know it doesn't look like it, off there this morning to can them. Look at already. I was taking anything that was even slightly blushing. And, oh, I missed a couple down there. And, yeah. And then I took all of those Romas today. Look how big the sunflowers are getting. And my corn. Like, it's massive. And this one sunflower, see how these ones are all kind of looking over here? This one, it just refused to look at the sun. And it looks like it's having some problems. It's dropping petals. So I don't know what's wrong with it. Again, I do need to water. And these tomatoes, I know they look a mess because they look like they fell over. And they kind of did. But I got so many. I canned so many Roma tomatoes this morning. And look at this acorn squash. It keeps going. It's got fruit on it. Look at, there's one. There's one. I had to redirect it over that way. There's, like, I gotta harvest. I'm gonna harvest these puppies. I'm not very good at this part. So there's 1, 2, 3. Like, look at the size of this. That's a huge acorn squash. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, man. And this is the stuff that I just planted. So my kale's finally taking. My peppers are doing good. Everything's coming along. My parsley needs to be harvested again. My peppers are turning red again. I have to harvest lots. My cucumbers, that one's almost done. It's all scarred up, but the other one looks good up there. Again, I haven't been watering enough, and my bad. So I have some nice fruit coming on this one as well. And that's it. So I'm doing my best to keep up with you guys, to bring you content that makes sense. Kind of keep you in the loop. Oh, see? Oh, a butterfly. No, this is larkspur. Isn't it beautiful? It, see that, I'm going to pluck one off so you guys can see this. See that spur on the back of it? I hope I'm showing it. On the back of the flower. See, that's the stem, and then that's the spur. That's how it gets its name, larkspur. Now, I am not aware of this being a medicinal. I've never done research on it. I know nothing about it other than it's absolutely beautiful. And I let this one grow because I wanted to show you guys the pretty colors. It's amazing. Yep, and lots more of my lamb's quarter seeds coming here. It likes to grow with the larkspur, so that's pretty. And more evening primrose. Yeah, look at my apples, you guys. I have to get them done. I have to give this little tree some hope. Lift some weight off of its shoulders. Big spide ear. Big spide ear. Yeah, okay. So, that's how everything's growing. I'm keeping up. I'm bringing you content. I look forward to seeing you all out there on the YouTube streets. If you hung around this long in this long video, drop a potato emoji in the comment section for me. It would warm my heart. Thank you so much for coming by my channel. Bye-bye.